So this video here, we're going to be looking at points, lines, and angles. So there's going to be a fair bit of definition writing down, but it's really just helping us understand the vocabulary before we get into a bit more detail, particularly with our geometry unit. So you're going to be writing down a fair bit of, as I said, definitions, but also writing down an example of what that means. So the first key points that we're going to learn is obviously a point. So a point, when we're talking about geometry, is usually labelled with a capital letter. It looks like this. We usually just do a dot and we label it with a capital letter. It's very important because when we get to naming angles or lines, etc., we name them with that capital letter. So a line, however, is when it's passing through 2 points. So in this case, you'll see A and B, and we call that, as you see, AB, and that's how we write that. So it can be either done A or B the other way, but you'll see that a line extends indefinitely in both directions. Okay, so it doesn't stop; it sort of just extends forever in those both directions. But we can label those points with A and B, and we can name that line by saying AB, as we've gotten here. Now a plane, on the other hand, is a flat surface that extends indefinitely. Okay, so it can go in any of these directions and extend on forever. We call that a plane. And now when we have points that they all line up on a single line. Okay, so here we've got a line, and we've got 3 separate points, or just a number of different points, and we call that collinear. Okay, so in this example here, you can see that we have A, B, and C. We've got multiple points within a line, and we call that collinear. Now, if we have 2 lines that meet and an intersection point is formed, okay? Now, if there's 3 or more, we're going to call that concurrent. So in this example here, you'll see where they all meet there. Because there's 3 lines, this one here example is a concurrent. If we had, okay, maybe that point there would be an intersection point because there's only 2 lines. So a reminder here of what a line is, and now we're going to move into a couple more different versions, and I'll explain why that is. So the first one here is we call a segment or an interval. So it's a line segment, so it's part of a line. So it's part of a line with a fixed point, so it doesn't go on infinitely as we showed with up here. So you'll see, as we showed with the line, it doesn't go on infinitely. It stops at these points here. So if the endpoints here are A and B, then we name it segment AB. So we name it like this. So it could call it segment AB or segment BA. It doesn't matter which way you say that. But that's the difference with this segment. Now we also have a ray. So a ray is part of a line, but one point, so in this case, it ends, and the other point is sort of continues on forever. So it's kind of a mix between a segment and a line. So it starts off at this point and then continues on forever going through line B. And so as it says there, it's part of a line with one endpoint A and passing through point B. So it's kind of like a segment and a line, a mixture between those two. Now when we have 2 rays, okay, you can see here, we've got this ray here and this ray here. The point that they form we call the vertex. Okay, so as they both come in, they sort of hit that point there, and we call that a vertex. Now that's going to be very important as we move into angles and calculating angles. So when 2 rays combine, they create a vertex, and that these 2 rays here we then call the arms of an angle. Okay, so you can see there you've got the terminology arm and vertex, and they create the arms of an angle, and an angle will be in there, is what we're going to get to our next point. So an angle, though, is named using the 3 points. So with the vertex is the middle point. So when we're writing our angles, the vertex, you can see here, is our middle letter. So this example here, okay, so we've got, and this is how we write it. We use this symbol here. Okay, so if we use that symbol, that refers to angle. And then we write basically the letters to show that angle. And as we said, the vertex letter goes in the middle. So in this case, we will write A, which is there, B, which is our vertex point, and C. We could also write that the other way around. As long as we keep A in the middle, we could do C, B, A, and obviously using that symbol as a line. And then that helps us measure the angle. So in this case, the measure of the angle here, and we'll zoom in nice and tight there. You can see we use that symbol to give us the angle of that vertex and those arms. So the key things here, making sure you can understand how to write an angle, the difference between the arms and the vertex, and understanding, as I've said, the difference between a line, a ray, and a segment, etc. So let's do a couple of practices just to ensure that we've got that. And it says name the following line segment. Now when it says name, we're going to be using these letters here. So the answer to this one would be, and as a reminder here as we go back, we write the word segment because this is a segment. So the answer to this one is segment A, B. Now the last one here, we're going to name the following angle. So our angle is here. So we're going to use that symbol for angle. And remember, the vertex letter goes in the middle of the three letters. So it doesn't matter which one we choose out of these two, but we'll go P, Q, R. So we've named this angle by using the angle symbol and then putting the 3 points together, making sure that our vertex is that point. And when we get to measuring, which we'll do very soon, we'll be measuring this part here, which creates our angle. So as there's a lot of information that you need to just copy down, hopefully it's not too difficult, but just write that information down and we'll be able to move forward from here in a little bit more detail. Thanks guys.